Hello from Seoul? Let me guess, you went out with your friend and ordered some Korean chicken noodle soup because you know chicken noodle soup is always right all around the world. And the food was good and you got a bill. What did he say? 30? 40? 50? However, what if you can have authentic chicken noodle soup at home for $3 per serving? What do you say? Do you think chicken noodle soup is hard to make? No, not really, right? Then what about Dak Kalguksu, Korean chicken noodle soup? Don't worry about it. With a little bit of a technique that I'm gonna show you today, you can experience authentic Korean chicken noodle soup. Alright, let's get started. First of all, let's start with the broth, which is the most important thing for the chicken noodle soup. You will need chicken, green onion, and garlic. It's way simpler than you think, right? First, onion. Cut off the ends and peel off the skin. Cut it through, but not all the way down so that the good flavor goes into the broth. Next, green onion. Think about the person who bothers you this week and fold it in half. Feel better, right? Then place it in the pot. This time, chicken. To make a deep broth, we need chicken with bones because all the good stuff comes out from the bones rather than the meat. So I'm just gonna use 4 chicken legs and 1 chicken breast. But some of you might worry if it's not good enough because we only use a small amount of chicken. Yes, you're right, but don't worry about it because we're gonna add a little bit of chicken stock or chicken powder. To be honest, this is the secret of restaurant taste. Of course, we could use a whole chicken or more chicken pieces instead of this, but if it's too complicated and time consuming, no matter how delicious that is, you don't ever want to try that again. Trust me, these can make your cooking easy and fun. FYI, I'm not sponsored, so don't get me wrong. Now add 5 cloves of garlic. You can skip onion and green onion, but you have to add garlic. I know I always say more green onion, more delicious, but I dare say every Korean dish starts from garlic, so this can be optional. If you Google how much garlic Koreans consume every year, you'll be surprised. And lastly, add 10 cups of water so that they are all submerged. Now turn on the heat to high heat. Once it starts to boil, you will see some foamy stuff on top. Then use a spoon or ladle and skim that off to get a nice and clean broth. After that, put a lid on and let it continue to boil over medium-high heat for about 30 minutes. Of course, you can boil this without the lid, but that way, a lot of liquid will evaporate, so you may need to add more water constantly. Nobody wants to do that, right? Also, this will help concentrate the flavor, so don't forget to put the lid on. Meanwhile, let's prep the vegetables for the toppings. You will need green onion and zucchini. That's it. So simple, right? Actually, you can skip the vegetables because the broth is everything in here. But if you want some pretty photos for your Instagram, I wouldn't do that. First, chop some green onion into small pieces. Since we're gonna use it for garnish, we don't need much. Next, zucchini. Slice some zucchini into strips. As I always say, green always makes your dish look fancy. So if you're not in the middle of a desert or something, please do not skip this. Please. Lastly, finely chop 1 chili pepper for that extra kick, but this is totally optional. Now put some oil in a pan and place it over medium-high heat. Once the pan is nice and hot, add the zucchini and stir fry for about 1 minute. And don't forget to season with a little bit of salt and pepper. For information, zucchini contains a lot of moisture, so if you cook it too long, it quickly gets mushy. So please cook this for no more than a minute. Once it's done, spread it out as much as you can. Otherwise, you will see some mashed zucchini or something because of its remaining heat. And that is not gonna be pretty. Alright, it's been 30 minutes. Turn off the heat and take out the chicken. And remove other ingredients because we don't need them anymore. When the chicken is cool enough, shred it into bite-sized pieces. You may not notice it, but I'm screaming right now. Seriously, I am. Of course you can use forks, but it gives you more authentic vibes. Can you feel that, right? No? Really? Oh, now it's very important, so please focus. If you're done with the chicken, save the bones and put it back into the broth and then boil it for another 15 minutes. And that is the secret of how we get the restaurant taste. Remember, all the good flavor is in the bones, so do not skip this step. Alright, time's up. Remove the bones. This chicken broth is versatile, so it can be used for many recipes such as ramen or jjampong. So please try it in many ways. It will be fantastic. Anyways, let's get back to the point. For the chicken noodle soup, we need at least 1.5 liters of broth, which is about 6 cups. So if it's necessary, please add more water and bring it to a boil. Now let's work on the chicken. Put 2 tablespoons of Korean chili pepper flakes, 30 grams of green onion, a half teaspoon of salt, a few shakes of black pepper. If you're a big fan of spicy food or want some extra kick, you can add the chili peppers that we chopped earlier. But again, this is totally optional, so don't worry about it. Normally, Korean chicken noodle soup is topped with just plain shredded chicken, but I prefer this way because it makes your dish more beautiful and adds more flavor to the broth. Trust me, I guarantee it. Finally, it's time to assemble. Put 1.5 liters of broth, a half teaspoon of salt, some black pepper, 1 clove of finely minced garlic, 1.5 tablespoons of chicken stock, and turn on the heat to medium heat. Our broth is good enough, but this will bring it to the next level. Next, noodles. I'm gonna use these kalguksu noodles, Korean knife cut noodles, but if you can't get it, you can use any kinds of noodles such as frozen noodles, dried noodles, or even instant ramen noodles. No worries, if you use these kalguksu noodles, make sure to untangle them first and give them a rinse, because we don't want that excess starch in our soup, but not too long. Just a quick rinse will be enough. Once it's piping hot, add in the noodles and stir it so they don't stick together. If you stir it like crazy, these kind of fresh noodles are easily broken into small pieces, so please be gentle. Alright, when the noodles are just about done, grab a spoon and give it a quick taste. Obviously, everybody has a different taste, so it can be a little bland or salty. Then add some more water or salt to suit your taste, but mine is perfect. When the noodles are fully cooked, turn off the heat and place them nicely in a serving bowl, and then add some soup with a ladle. Now garnish the top with some zucchini and chicken. That's it. So easy, right? You might feel it's too much work because I talk too much, but trust me, once you try it, you will notice it's way easier than you think. Alright, let's go to our taste tester. Claire.
오, 뭔가 이렇게 알록달록 신경 좀 썼다. 고명도 따로 만들고. 이요. It's so pretty, right? I'm so ready for this. 너무 섞기가 미안하네. 고명이 엄청나구만. 이요. 국물이 빨갛게 이제 물 들어가고 있어. 오. 오. 엄청 맛있는데? 제대로 했는데? 국물도 먹어봐야지. 오 마이 갓. 제대로다. 오, 국물이 진짜 전통 있는 식당에서 이만한 가마솥에 다 엄청 넣어가지고 팔팔 끓인 그런 맛? 그런 깊은 맛이 나는데? 오, 제대로 했는데? 오, 진짜 맛있어. 고명에 있는 고춧가루가 싹 퍼져가지고 약간의 그 칼칼함도 추가가 되는 그런 느낌이야. 매콤함이 탁탁 치는 그런 느낌? 너무 좋은데? You know what makes you feel better is that after eating this kind of meal, you don't feel guilty. 진짜 이거는 건강해지는 느낌이다. 이 건강해진다라는 게 이게 맛이 없어서 건강해지는 그런 느낌이다. 그런 게 아니라 한 입 한 입 먹었었을 때 뭔가 몸에 안 좋은 것들이 뭔가 치료되는 그런 느낌? 그 정도로 그런 느낌이네. For your information, these kalguksu noodles are really slippery compared to other noodles. So if you are not good at using chopsticks, bring your fork. It's not something you should be ashamed of. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Today, I showed you how to make super simple but authentic Korean chicken noodle soup. It is so tasty, budget-friendly, and doesn't even need many ingredients. Once you try it, you may think you owe me $50, but don't worry about it. You can pay me back with the like button. Then I'll be happy with that. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.